Life could be a dream, life could be a dream. Do, 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 shaboom.
Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back today to another video. And in today's video we're doing, as you know, some more 240 work. The 240 has a lot of issues that we have to fix. I want to get the tachometer and the speedometer working. So the tachometer just doesn't work at all. RPMs, none. Especially with it being a manual car, being the first manual car that any of us are driving. You know, I don't want to say it's necessity because we've been driving it with no tachometer, but just for the health of the vehicle, I want to make sure the tachometer works and just to have it fixed. You know, it's on the dash, it's in the gauge cluster, so I just want to make sure that that works. Speedometer. The speedometer works, but it's really slow, so I'm guessing it's the same issue as the tachometer. So what I'm going to do is, I just spent $100 at Home Depot. What I did is I got a soldering iron, I got some solder, and I got some resin as well. So that in total, I want to say it was like 93 bucks, but that's what it is. You know, cars, it's a game, it's a money game, so it had to be done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out the cluster. I'm gonna try to resolder some of the speedometer connections and the tachometer connections, and that should lead to it working. All right, guys, so we got the Civic and the Lexus over there, and may I tell you, man, that Lexus looks so good lowered. I'm happy he decided to lower it, especially next to the Civic, and they're like the same color car too, so that's kind of hard. This is what the tint's looking like. First thing, I know I showed you guys what it first looked like, so this is what the tint is looking like now. I haven't driven it while it looks like this, but from what I heard, is it a better drive? Can you see through the back better?
Honestly.
Okay, so that's one, that's good. What I'm going to be focusing on today is removing the cluster, so I can try to weld. Here's everything that I will be using. First off, I have this soldering iron. That was probably about $50. Next up, we have some resin. I don't know how much this was, maybe like 20. And then we have some solder. This was probably like 20 as well. Alrighty, so I got this bottom out. Alright, so I got everything off. Well, this piece just fell out when I unscrewed this. This is still screwed in, down in this, on that side. It's still screwed in, but these front 4 screws, I went ahead and just loosened those so I could go ahead and pull this down. So I'm gonna remove this, and hopefully we can loosen this, pop this out, take this piece off, and actually have access to the cluster. Okay, so really quickly, something that I noticed, because this is a project car, I unplugged. Some of the connections weren't even plugged in under the steering wheel, and then I'm missing actually a lot of bolts. So these top ones that I was talking about removing, they're not even there, so I could just pop that right off and have access to the cluster. So yeah, let's actually go ahead and remove those now. So this is what things are looking like right now. I pretty much have all these connections disconnected. This was done by, obviously, like I said a million times, project car. Meaning, these connections don't just unplug. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to disconnect and reconnect this. I don't even know what this use is for. So that's one side. On the other side, this is my last connection for the pop-ups actually, that I have to remove. So I wanna be careful with this because I wanna make sure that this stays working. This is the last connection I can remove, and then I should be able to figure out how to remove this fully and have access to the cluster. We just got this piece off, and it was a pain. I had to pick it up and turn it all the way around until it popped off under. So that's what that was. Now if you want to remove this, the reason why it's so hard is because you have this, basically the steering wheel adjustment to move it around, and you also have to move it around this. So from what I see, there's 3 screws, one here, and one here. So I'm gonna remove those 3, and let's see. So while I have it out, might as well just wipe that down, clean all that. Alrighty, so I got all three disconnected. Basically what it is that you have to do is just pull off these tabs all the way around. There's a clear one for the clear, and then there's black tabs for this one, and everything just pops right out. And just by looking over everything, I see that someone has messed with this before, because there's like fingerprints on this. So hopefully nothing's wrong, they just wanted to swap it. And as for these, I'm gonna remove the tachometer and the speedometer, and I'm gonna do that by disconnecting the screws. So you see there's 3 right there, 4 right there. I'm gonna disconnect those, pop these out, and I'm gonna have Soso do whatever has to be done with this.
A few moments later.
I don't think the cluster is gonna work anymore. I think I might just have to replace it. I'm just gonna get a new cluster. Also the steering wheel, I'm gonna replace this steering wheel because we have one on the Camry. I figured it'll be easier to replace everything that I took off if I just take off the wheels, so we'll just switch out wheels as well. So with that, yeah, just a little bit of an update on things and back to work. As you can see, my key doesn't go in the door. It feels like the door has like different teeth. You think this is like the OEM? All these controls are like stuck right here. Does this come out? It does. This is bolted down. Door unlocks. All this is held up literally over this piece. This little tab, just lift it, pop it in. And now inside the door. The top line is a lock, the bottom line is the door. All of this, it's like stuck to this little piece, so I can't really take it out all in one unless I disconnect everything. When it's in the position that it's in right now, this is good. It will catch onto this little piece right here. It'll catch onto this, close the door. If this is pushed in like this, which it gets stuck in, the door's not gonna close. So I have to figure out how to make this open and close like it's supposed to. See, look, if I'm pulling the door handle and it comes up, so something works right in there. I think it's a lock, something in between the lock and the door handle. Yo, I decided to call it quits for the day. I just too much stuff I couldn't really figure out, and the dash still doesn't work. The driver's side door is a little bit better, at least it locks now. So I don't know, I just got things to figure out. The key still doesn't work, the tint is almost fixed, but I just went in mine today with a couple different goals, and I didn't make my goal, which is it's all right sometimes. Just figured I might as well show you guys the good and the bad. So sometimes you'll dedicate a whole day to a project and get nothing accomplished, but at least you'll figure some things out along the way. And that's pretty much all that today was. Today was one of those days. So I'm gonna go inside and try to figure out what it is that I could have done better, or what could get done better. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys, those of you who made it to this point in the video. Hope you guys have a good day. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and sub, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.